Greetings YouTube, this is Western Kansas Prepper here, and with another video review of the TV show Doomsday Preppers. And this is going to be on the third episode of the show, where they introduce us to 4 new preppers. A total of 12 now in the 3 shows, so I'll call this Heat 3. And just like the last episode, video I did on this, I'm going to go ahead and rank them both within this particular show, but also I'm going to put them on the big board, as I'm going to call it, and put them with my other rankings of the other 8 preppers who I previously ranked. So, I guess, without further ado, let me start off with the first new prepper on the show in my rankings, and I'm going to call him... Excuse me. Get this big there. This guy I'm going to call Blade. Excuse me. Blade the Fireman. Blade the Fireman appears to be a pretty tough-looking dude who is in New York City. He's a firefighter. He was actually a first responder, it looks like, at 9/11, so if we all haven't said thank you for his service and his dedication to protecting the safety of American citizens, we need to do that. So that's great that he's a first responder like that. And that probably gives him some useful skills in and of itself. So, as you saw in my rankings here, I'm again starting with the suspense method. You saw I put him at number 10 out of the 12, ahead of Hardy Cat Chick and Solo Botanist. Still not real high. This is kind of one of the pet peeves I have about the show. So they ask him, well, Blade, what are you prepping for, And he says, I'm prepping for the Yellowstone super volcano. And then at the end of the show, they're like, or at the end of this segment on him, then they go, experts, okay, you guys rank him, and now other scientists, experts, what are the chances of us actually getting hit by the super volcano from Yellowstone? And they'll say, oh, it's only 0.00 whatever %. So basically, like, this guy's a nutball because he's preparing for the super volcano. That's what is, I think, a flaw in the show. That, their sort of narrative is that you have to be locked into one prepping purpose. And if you've ever watched my video where I responded to Bexar or Bear Prepper, however she says it, my view, and should be your view, is that you're prepping for many possible scenarios. You try to prepare for as many scenarios as you can within reason that are on the board. You don't just, it's not like it's just this guy against the damn volcano. He's ready for several different scenarios, even though the show doesn't really let him admit that. They make it look like he's a mental patient because he's afraid of this volcano. That's stupid. I know that he's not, and you can tell that he's not. That's not his whole deal, but the show plays it up like that, which is it's bullcrap. Anyway, why didn't I rank him that high? Well, he admits these things. He says, look, I'm in a tiny apartment in New York City. It's very hard to prep. He's basically got a good little supply of MREs. He's got crap in a storage space he's got to go halfway across town to go get. Which they also made him look like a nutball. Hey, put on your gas mask and we'll film you go into your storage space, and then we'll make you look like a nut at the end by making you afraid of this volcano. So, they play that up. But, the big problem, of course, is, I called him Blade, because he's practicing like he's a badass with some knives, which, as you all know, don't bring a knife to a gunfight, because that's probably what you're going to be facing in most prepping WROL type situations. Good to be good with knives. Sure, it's a good skill. He's way better at knives than I'll probably ever be. So, that's a good skill. But certainly, it's good up close. But I didn't really understand that. I mean, I looked up New York gun laws. I understand they have firearms restrictions, as far as handguns. But I don't think there's any. I couldn't find any rule that prohibited him from having a shotgun or a rifle in New York City. It looked like he had to go to the police department and get a permit. You got to pay for that permit, and it's like $500 or something outrageous. But he can do that, it looked like to me, unless he's a felon or something, which I don't think he would be working for the fire department. So he needs to get himself a firearm or two. I mean, if he can't have a handgun, that's fine, and living in New York City. But he had to have a shotgun, to protect that house. So, and of course, again, his supplies are minimal because he's in that little apartment. So he definitely is trying. I respect that. Hard place, much harder for him to prep where he's at than where I'm at. So I can respect that. Okay. That brings me to the next person on the list, which I'm going to put right actually next to my other new person. I'm going to call this guy the Constant Gardener, and that would be, whoops, wrong guy. This guy, and he basically, they make out their big, oh, what are you afraid of? Well, I'm afraid of the giant food stock collapse due to the super predator insects, that are going to eat up all of our crops, to make him look like a nutball too, But, he is, obviously he's got a very good, sustainable garden. He's eating a lot of his own produce. He's creating his own biodiesel, with his little contraption. That's good. He got his couple of kids helping him, do this stuff. They're into it too. Good for him. That's why I ranked him higher than some other people. But he clearly wasn't very far along in his thinking. And when you go, I have him, obviously 9, still a lot of people ahead of him. I don't think he's as well prepared as the Doris Day of Doom, even though they're kind of similar in a lot of ways, and they both got sustainable gardens. She had a kind of a whole community going on though, and he really doesn't. But you mentioned to him, hey, you got all this biodiesel. Why don't you have like a diesel generator? He's like, well, golly, I never thought of that. Diesel generator, huh? I guess I might try that, But